The button has been clicked. Hello and welcome to Mausritter Grand Adventure. Yes, I'm naming it after myself. Hello, Nicholas.
Awesome.
Hello, Solmir.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Good to see you.
It's morning for me.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, we're in the middle of the afternoon after a nice big lunch, and yeah, it's great.
Okay.
Good times.
I'm really worried that
Yeah.
nobody's gonna hear Solmir, so I'm gonna turn you up a little bit more.
Nah, he's
Just to
fine,
make
like
sure.
on my end.
You
I
have
was
him
totally
on
louder than you two on the
100?
recording.
Sorry?
Do you have Solmir on 100% or more?
He is on 200%.
Yeah, there you go. I knew it. I'm not crazy.
But it sounds fine on 200%.
Yeah, okay.
I have no idea what to do about it.
Practically it's fine.
And you are on 139 for me as
I
well.
have
So like
no
you're
idea.
not like
Practically it's fine.
and you that are on high, that loud
139.
either.
All right.
I had to adjust it. But
I
yeah,
never.
Mausritter.
Mausritter, yeah. Let's,
Yeah.
I'm dropping the link and in the channels, the secret channels.
Yeah, so you're talking a little bit before. I don't know if you want to like reiterate that or because you said you're gonna cut
let's
this
go
part.
into it. We do a small aftermath of Crimes Against Roleplay of our own show. Before we start the next episode, just gonna talk about what happened and how we felt about it, because we have a couple of criticisms at ourselves. How
Especially at
dare
Solmir.
how dare you, Solmir, to not be perfect in every way? With that beautiful house and that beautiful lamp and the shawl, I like it.
In your
nice.
expensive brand pants.
Well, you can never get a break. That's the problem. It's a real
but so you said there was something you didn't like. Do you want to say that? Like you didn't like on your end?
Yeah, I watched the Mausritter 1 and I bought a microphone, and then I watched Mausritter 2 and stopped saying ums and ahs as much as I did previously. And then there is, we have the form, the staying in character, the not speaking in second person, and all these techniques, and that's important. And then beyond that, we have all the narrative stuff and the descriptions and the reactions and the things that actually happen in the game. And all of those things were probably criminal, but yeah, what I caught my eye was the spider encounter. I was really not explaining what they did properly, so I had one imagination of what happened, and and you probably heard something completely different because it wasn't explained properly.
Yeah, so I did not watch the video, but when I think about it, I remember, the spiders ambush us again, and they throw down a tablet. Well, this looks kind of magical. Let the wizard handle this, because I've been ambushed in my own home. I'm not talking to them. And the wizard says, well, isn't this magical? I wonder how it works. And I thought like, a wizard, maybe he should know? Or maybe he's like asking to make a roll first. But then I don't even know if you rolled for it, if you know or not. Or
I think I wanted to I wanted somebody to explain to me because like I'm not understanding my character should. I think I was doing. I don't really remember what was going on in my. I was really like frog brained at that moment.
Is it possible that, as Solmir, did you like deliberately pull back? Like, I am not telling my players what they think or what they know. Like, either they know or they don't know. Was that the approach, or were you just like, why do you not know, Nicholas? You're supposed to know. What happened there?
I forgot.
Yeah, I was I was really thinking, well, okay, they don't understand that there's a magical tablet there that they can pick up, so I let's just attack instead, because that's gotta stay in
That's
character. I wanna
something
go on.
happens.
I choose
Yeah,
violence.
something else happens. Yeah, just that's yeah. So, but then afterwards, when all the spiders were dead and you guys also almost dead, then Waddles took the tablet and like almost bashed the wizard in the head with it and said, "Look here!" It's like demonstratively, there is a tablet here, just to make sure that.
Yeah, it was on me. I really don't know why I did not like get that.
No, but if you
You
would
know?
rewatch it, you would understand why you didn't get it. You had to guess it yourself almost, like Sonola did. So.
Yeah,
He did. I didn't, so I think it was on me.
there's a fact we've established that it has been hard to tell in the game that different animals do not speak to each other. I do not speak the language of the ants, and the frog is a wizard who is learned, so he gets to understand more
'Cause I'm a
crossover.
snowflake.
Like mammals and fish don't speak to each other, stuff like, or insects, spiders and mammals. But I could possibly talk to a dog, maybe, with like heavy accents. So if the spider approaches with a tablet that translates languages, like if I'm trying to be the game master in that situation, I guess like I would try to have the spider talk to the mouse and the frog, and then put the tablet down, take a few steps back and talk more, like pick it up. But instead of saying pick it up, I'm doing chittering spider noises to translate. Oh, now you cannot hear what he's saying because he dropped the tablet, as a hint, to be like, so they hopefully the players will pick up at this point what they're supposed to do. And if they don't, that's just hilarious to me. Like, oh, that's like talk about breakdown of communication. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one way to go about it. I think clarity, just being really clear with what it is you want to communicate in any way, basically that you
Yeah.
can come up with, will have the priority. Like if it is explained badly, then yeah, it's not gonna work. But if it explains in a boring way that you can understand, then at least it's going to work. And it's not, you don't have to scramble to do something else or fix the situation in some other way or whatever.
To be fair, okay, that's against me now. Because I was trying to remember like how do magic work, because I wanted to cast Grease if anything happened. So
Yeah.
I was like looking on the PDF and trying to listen to the descriptions at the same time.
Did you
And I
open
think
the rule book while we role played?
yeah, but I'm not the GM. I'm not the GM. I did it in silence. And I think that helped on me, like being really lost what was going on. I was trying to do two things at once.
I
Yeah,
feel you.
that's okay, because yeah, it's fine. It worked in game as well, because you basically rolled a d20 and then you said the spell failed, and I just said yeah, and
Yeah.
and it failed. That's it.
Yeah, but like there's not even a fail state for spells in this game. But all right.
It doesn't matter. You could have had some very cool grease effect, and that didn't happen. So now you had a problem or whatever. So
The
something
grease got
interesting
all
will happen.
clumpy, so they don't spread over the surface evenly. So
Yeah,
just
just a
it
ball.
just make them dirty, like
Mm.
it's Well, it is also the art of role playing is the communicating honest and reactive dialogue the hard way. I love that. That's I love that as a catchphrase. I'll say it in all of the
Yeah.
video, all of the videos, in all of the comments. I'll leave it in there. Hard, honest, and reactive dialogue, and then I feel smart
Yeah.
about myself. But yes,
And
if
everybody's like,
yeah, so if that scene happens again in the future, I think it's fine. Like maybe it's a mistake of intent. That can totally happen, but it doesn't ruin the game or the role play. That's the difficult part. Is okay. How do I roll with the punches now?
Yeah.
yeah, that's I have the same feeling, like not stopping to correct things, and oh no, that's no, we have to go back 5 seconds in time. It's like it's not actually not like that. It's actually I meant this, or it's actually like that. Just to
Yes, we have to go
it's
back to the
much worse.
future and solve the role play
Yeah.
problem that
Yeah.
will happen by my by my son. You know, when it's like I don't know.
How everything has to change. It is what it is.
Hop into the DeLorean. Let's get to 88 miles per hour.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just better to roll with it. You can probably fix it later with one line of dialogue or make it make more sense.
Now, are any of the rules from Mausritter itself that that are weird, or is it just a thing of we should maybe we should practice the rules a bit more? I can
I
say
don't
from
think they're
my end.
they're super simple.
Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
It's not
like
much.
basic. It's like light, you know.
Yeah, and we're not even using most of the rules actually.
Yeah, because the game is very OG in the sense that you're supposed to go on expeditions and dungeons. So the rules
Yeah.
cover that only. So everything else you can just improvise at the moment. Like it's not meant to be like a grand saga where you can simulate business and expenses and kingdoms.
No, it's
It's good at what it tries to be good at, what it tries to achieve.
yeah, and it's an also dungeon crawler, and you have to have your hit points. You get into the dungeon and you hit some monsters, and then your equipment degrades, and then you don't have
Yeah,
so much.
you bring rope, you bring torches, you bring food. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
that good fun, you know.
Yeah.
But the rules is not complicated. But we do forget. Like I forgot because I did not do my prep as a player. To okay, I'll probably be using spells, so I shouldn't like check it beforehand. That is on me.
it would have been nice. I mean, it also gives a lot of inspiration, but I don't see it as a must at all. But yeah, it would have given a lot of inspiration. There's actually a lot of interesting or fun hooks in the spells themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever. It's just inspiration.
Yeah, I like
For
that
me,
when the rulebook has ideas on what you're to expect in the game.
yeah, the rules are as much the setting and the flavor and the kind of things that could happen and the kind of creatures that you could meet, as much as it is the mechanics.
Okay, I have a question. I got a question. I did a thing last game. I just like, yeah, we have to walk through the Ant Kingdom. So like, cause like I want to meet ants. I want to meet ants. So like I threw that, but I don't know if I overstepped. I don't know if I overstepped. Because I thought, okay,
No,
like I know the trail, so like I think like my character should be able to like determine some things. I mean, you can always change, maybe we go there and everyone is dead. You know, like it's quite kind of happening, but you can still change it. But I don't know if I did too much.
No, absolutely not. In my opinion, it's great because it gives the world a substance that at least one of us finds somewhat interesting. Like I could just roll on a table and guess and say, okay, it's a pine forest now or something. So
Mhm.
what if nobody likes a pine forest? What if nobody finds that interesting? I think it's much better to 4D a rumor or something
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
make that an option in that way. Um, Basically, with the whole improvisational style,
Mhm.
the world is not set in stone at all, and
Did you have in mind something else before I threw that out?
yes and no. I mean, there's
Yeah, we
a whole
told you
list.
to Schrodinger's prepare. Be prepared,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
act like you're not.
yeah, it's actually quite frustrating, honestly. But it's a great fun challenge. But yeah, how much to prepare, what to prepare, and I don't know if you have experienced this, but if something's prepared, it seems a bit stale and it seems a bit forced. And
So you feel like you prepared something, but now it doesn't fit the scene, or you have to shoehorn it, or what do you mean with stale?
I
Because
think
I
that
mean, I would try to not prepare stale things, so I'm not quite sure what you mean by that.
yeah, exactly. But what I mean by that is that I'm not sure, but it's one part of it is that I already have an expectation and I know what I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna react. So it's
Yes.
not as engaging for me, and that of course reflects on everything I say.
Yeah.
That's one part.
Mm.
Another part
You
is
know
if
what's
we
going to
in
happen.
yeah, and I'm not supposed to, but I have an idea, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing is, if you imagine something, if you imagine a scene, and then you imagine it again a few days later, then part of the imagination, it will be a memory. So now you are bringing forth a memory of an imagination, and that is not going to be as alive as
Okay.
Mhm.
something that is imagined directly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. I mean, I think because the game is a dungeon crawl, right? And I think dungeon crawls, it's like Vestin in a way. They rely on prep for the mainframe to work most of the time. I guess you can still like 4D like improvise a region or a dungeon, but I feel like the game is about beating the challenge, like
Yeah,
doing the traversing the area, surviving. You know, like that's the core of the experience. So I feel like it's fine to do some prep on that, but then you play with us and like we throw end kingdoms on the way. So I don't know like how that works. You know.
yeah. It's exactly it's a big paradox, and I think it's the same with the whole RPG scene that the styles of play are so different that it's almost east and west some of the time.
Yeah. When
Uh,
we say the game is a dungeon crawl, I don't. You can correct me, but I don't think you mean that it's in a dungeon, since the rules does have a lot of overland travel. But it's like it feels like sections into. You go to this region, and there are several encounters to go through, and figure out how do you approach the snake on the road,
yeah,
or the owl
yeah, because
in the
it's
forest.
resource management, right? The game has
Yes,
a big focus on that. So
the torches,
like
the rations, and your hit
yeah,
points.
so you need to be thinking like that is a part of the adventure. That is the core experience. Of course, you can like shape it to any way we want, but that's the main goal of what the game is trying to do. So it will excel if we rely on that, you know,
And
for
it
the
does have
experience of.
like a whole hex crawl system too, that we are basically ignoring as far as I know. so
Yeah.
far of like what is where. That is like ultimate prep. The opposite of what we are trying to do is instead of like, oh yeah, you can go everywhere, but I've prepared everywhere. So you know, that's
Yeah.
like, oh, talk
Yeah.
about multiplying like by what's the word?
Exponentially.
Yeah, exponentially by the power of 2, you know. Let me prepare
Yeah.
like in a
Uh,
new dimension for you guys. That's what hex crawls
yeah.
are to me.
Maybe sometimes. I mean, but I think another big problem is that you have to traverse the hexes. Like you have to move from hex to
Yeah.
hex. And how do you do that in character? How do you have a conversation about the hex to the east and the hex? You can look to the east, you can look to the west, but how are you going to say, oh, we travel 3 hexes in that direction?
We
And
just
we are supposed to
Hex
make
is
some
like
rolls. We're
a
supposed
mile
to
or
talk
so,
about who
right?
is the scout and all this. How do you do that? All that in character?
I think you just code it like, oh, let's walk 3 miles, you know, like whatever. And oh yeah, 3 miles is 3 hexes, you know.
when
I'm
that
trying to find here.
a lot of that for me is up to the game master to describe the passage of time, because I will try to describe what I'm doing, but I cannot describe, or I'm trying not to describe everything around me, because I don't know if I'm still in the forest a mile later, you know, or if it opened up. And if I invent something, I feel like it would be fine, but that I might step on your toes on, oh, I had a thing 2 hexes from now. And if they walk in that general direction, and they're walking, that's like you get the intent of the players. You can describe the next notable scenery shift of, I don't know, like let's say there's a hex and you had noted down on, oh, the wishing well is here. You know, whatever that means, it's a note. And we travel in that general direction, we should probably just stumble over it. It's, because it's the next noteworthy thing, like half a day passes as the group stumbles upon a wishing well. And we, you know, we or upon a well. It doesn't say wishing on it.
How do we know? There's a sign, you know,
It's
written with
just
graffiti.
signed. Yes. Fucking.
One wish per person,
It's
please.
like littered with coins everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh my god. This is red handwriting. Slick. Oh, it's a scam. I'm telling you. They're just trying to scam us of our hard earned money.
My pips.
Hold
Yeah,
on to
so
them tight.
I feel like it relies on being 3D, as we say. But I don't know, like at the end of the day, like we did for the Decant Kingdom, and it turned out pretty cool. So I guess it's more on the GM to marry these conflicting sides, you know, into one thing.
Yeah, I think it's also a work in progress. Like I really have not dungeon mastered any of these games in the 2D way, so I have no idea, and nobody plays in this style, so there's no examples. Well, yeah, a handful of people, and they don't do hex crawls.
Yeah. Almost nobody do like hex cross.
Yeah.
They can be fun if you're like doing the gamey thing, but then you might as well like play an MMO or something, I think.
Yeah. I've had like two or three sessions where we played in a hex crawl in Chult. That's the jungle island of Dungeons and Dragons. And yeah, what ended up happening, the actual hex crawl portion was pretty boring, because you walk and you go through your rations and you divide up who takes watch, and maybe we have an interesting scene of roleplay at a campfire. And there's like a bunch of rolling if a random event happens upon us or not. Because it's a jungle, you know, it's dangerous. Like taking a break is
Yeah.
very, very difficult. But yeah, if you don't reach the hex with the important stuff, like the skillful part is for the dungeon master to decide what can I cut out to keep the pacing of the game, because we are spending real life hours playing the game.
Yeah.
Where can I speed it up to? Okay, you're out of rations. You're like exhausted. You're thirsty, and you got a condition blisters all over your feet. You know, yeah, -1 dexterity or something like that, or disadvantage on all of your dexterous endeavors until the blisters have recovered.
Okay, let's entertain a thought here. If the goal of RPGs, if the goal of RPGs is to roleplay, the hex thing, does it defeat the purpose? Because you're kind of doing just administration, like planning. You're kind of doing the like a general planning, like routes for troops to walk by, like. But like you're not really like roleplaying there. You're just out of character deciding stuff.
The hex crawl for me is a tool to flesh out the world, so there is something to explore.
Yeah.
So that game master knows there be dragons, and he doesn't write down what kind of dragon. Like maybe he writes down a color, so he can reference it really quickly. You know, like on the horizon you see a red blip swoop down over the hill.
But okay, let's bring to the 4D. Like we're gonna play a full 4D game. Would you still? Would you even bother like creating a hex
No.
map? Maybe that's something in Session 0. Like we all together like create a map. I think that would be more productive.
Yeah, that's
just like we know the things around, but we can still 4D in the game. Like you know what? There's a wishing well here now. We did not discuss that previously, but we found one.
To create the outlines of the map for sure, because it is a nice help for the GM to just very quickly be able to say, there's a mountain or there's a forest in that direction.
So Session 0 drawing stream. We're not gonna draw a map together.
Oh, I did that once with a player, and he had like a phobia to drawing, or like he hated drawing, and I did not understand how that is even possible. So I kind of tried to force him, and you know, I had to.
You can like.
I rejected a bunch of no's before I realized, oh wait, this is the actual problem for him. Okay, let's not do that. I'm sorry, man. I did not.
You can
understand.
do like Dwarf Fortress Classic. You just like triangle for mountain, triangle.
Yeah, but
you know,
I
draw
tried,
like a line.
But he hated it. Like not even like finger painting, nothing. Not even a stick figure.
Okay.
I don't want to do this.
There's like some childhood trauma there for sure.
Yeah, something like that. Like yeah. And it was a game about let's draw like where the mountains are, like what the region looks like. Is there a lake?
Okay.
Let's draw a circle. It's like, why? I did not know. And he did not know that's how the game works until we sat down to play it on stream. You know, it's like.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That sucks.
I find it funny now, but I don't know if he found it funny then. I don't think so.
Looks back and with teary eyes, like, how could he?
I trusted you.
Yeah.
And you
no, I think it really could be done. One guy would draw it, and everybody wanted to be adding ideas and details.
Yeah. It would work, I think, as a Session 0.
Yeah.
We had both Primal and Borrowed Trauma. And since you were here for Borrowed Trauma, I had two things. I had the Shimmer Trench. I took note of a location. And I'm gonna use this as a reference point of where you are. Like, I don't care where you are in the fucking ocean. It's just like, how far away or close to the Shimmer Trench are you as a reference point? And how far away close you are to the fleet. Because that's all you really want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
not need like a what like latitude and altitude for where you are on my underwater map. They'll be dangerous.
Yeah.
And they're moving.
Yeah. But yeah, but I feel like the personal experience, at least on my end, because I was not like piloting the submarine, but on my end, it didn't matter anyway because I was confined as like this tin can.
You're not
Anyway.
in control.
Yeah, I'm being dragged.
Yes. That was on purpose too. Let's make you all uncomfortable under the water in a pressure can, you know, in a pressure cooker with a crew that doesn't like each other, that will all have their own plan going.
Yeah. And but you said the primal, yeah. For primal, I guess it could benefit from a hex map because it was really just exploring. But my goal was I don't want to do that. I want to let them like direct where they go and they to come up with stuff.
If you had a map,
but
would it be boring or exciting to explore it? Like if you wrote down what's in it.
I think that's a question I should be asking you. You were exploring it.
Yeah,
like let's say
guess...
you knew, like as a player, you know, oh, there is a map, like the world is already like established. You know, you could still 4D, of course, but like you already have like this hard frame of things that are there. Would that make a difference for you?
No, because I still play the character who doesn't know, and that's the exciting part for me.
Yeah.
I'm exploring.
Like I did come up with like on a notepad like list of like land features that I could use, you know, because I started brainstorming, you know, like, oh, there can be this, there can be that, but I would choose on the moment based on what it felt more appropriate.
Yeah.
Or more interesting. And like the rock canyon thing, like the stone bridge thing, like that was not on my notes. It just came up to me. Came up on me on a dream, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's let's sketch out a map. And now that I sketch it out, I cannot change it ever. You know, as soon as it's put on paper, there's this weird psychological feeling of I cannot infringe upon what has been created now, even though I did 5 minutes beforehand.
Yeah. Yeah, the human brain do be like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think for Mausritter is the same thing. Like I wouldn't mind if you created like a hex. But I feel like for this game specifically, because I made all the way back from somewhere to the stump to find like Grant. So like I should know the way that, because I'm paying you to escort me to this place, and like, I know where it is, so I should be able to like add. But like maybe if you had created a map, let's say, I specifically created a hex map for us for this game, like you can steal 4D and stuff. I think would ask, okay, give me a version where like there's fog of war and I only know like the place I need to go. Like give me that then, you know, like because I should know that path.
Yeah, I think that would have been a good way to do some more things like that.
But then it take prep time from you, you know, like you need to Photoshop something, like, you know, like it's fine if you have the time.
I just draw a hand-drawn scribbles, and I will just claim that the mouse who gave it to you was left-handed or right-handed.
I would have like digitalized it and like made like look a parchment or something.
I
use I'm a dork.
A version of that too. If distance is important for travel, because we are tracking rations and if you get exhausted or not. Dots and lines, and like a day, 2 days, 3 days, stuff like that. And that's all. That's all I really need. And maybe like the landscape, plain, mountain, hill, whatever is really important to allow me describe the region and fall back on it if you travel back. And because I'm not there trying to describe what the hills look like. I'm trying to evoke a feeling of familiarity as you return back across the same golden rolling hills of wheat fields. To be like, we're back in our region. We made it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I was more interested in the change of landscape and the passage of a traveling
Yeah,
a journey going on, and you move and you get into the rhythm of the campfires, and you already role played once that you set a trap, so I think that's enough. So okay, the rest of the time you just have enough food. But role playing, getting to a new landscape, imagining that landscape, getting to another landscape, imagining that, and also having the player agency of knowing that there are some landscapes to the east and some other to the north, and going through the landscapes, maybe getting rumors about the landscapes. So in a way, searching or going through the routes that are interesting to imagine or to interact with. That's what I actually dreamed of, kind of. But does that
yeah,
make sense? Because it's in the middle somewhere between a hex
Mm-hmm.
crawl and a journey, a role-played journey.
Yeah. Should every place like something happen? Should
No,
every hex something happen?
no,
no,
Okay.
it's.
All right. Question closed.
I don't think
Next
the
topic.
hex is. I think the hex is something that the GM should have on their table and kind of hand wave some of the distances and
Mhm.
skip some things and move some things around, and
yeah.
it's
Like
just
Time
an A.
passes.
the reason
Hmm?
why to use a hex is to know if they're like starving to death with the company, or if they have to, like, there's always a chance for an encounter. So if I know my players want to reach this point and they have 5 hexes to travel before we start the game, I'm rolling 5 times. And then I know,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay, this is like they actually have 4 encounters on the way. I'm gonna like bleed them dry, so to say. But that's me using the rules of the game to make to tell them what is happening to the character, because we are playing the game of a hex crawl
Yeah,
adventure, and not we are 4D role playing, and skip all of the boring parts. It's like I'm
Mm-hmm.
using the game to be fair, but the game is unfair because I'm not balancing around their existence. The world is alive, and it's the luck of the draw if you run across the wolves and the bears and the snakes all on the same day.
Always in the same mile. Like,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
curious.
But
Turns
that's
out,
kind of.
turns out, like a circus caravan passed by and they lost the animals. You know,
yeah.
that's the quest.
Yeah. I like the
Please
way.
retrieve our animals.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I like the inspiration of it and the random tables and the things that can come up. That gives a flavor of that game or that region. But I think the hex crawling's playing it the way you describe Sonalai. I think it's for people who have, all day and really want to get into it and meet with the guys for a whole day and roll all the dice and
It's
have
for
some
Yeah,
joy.
yep.
losers who don't have a life, don't
It's
have
for young
kids, don't have
people.
a.
No.
That's all of my friends, Nicholas. Don't do that. It's all of them. I still need them.
Yeah. But yeah. But I get what you mean. Like when you're, yeah, like when you don't work, if you only go to school, like you have a bunch of time, you know.
Yeah.
It's a fun. It can be a fun activity, but it's just a
Yeah.
different activity.
Well,
So how do we play these games that are
yeah.
meant to be played completely differently? That's
Yep.
Yeah, but you know what? That's a good point. If you check like the community, the crusade, like everybody's like pretty much busy. We don't have like, well, most of us at least, we don't have like that much free time.
Yeah.
So we want to like, man, I can play like only once or twice on a week for like 2 hours or 3 hours. I don't want to like be staring down on a sheet of paper for 2 hours just to decide if we're going north or west. I just want to go and do things.
I want to reach the
And I
end of the
think,
journey already. I want to meet the king already.
uh,
Like, what are we doing
yeah.
here? It's called Tyranny of Dragons. Why am I not being tyrannized?
by
Why did we
dragons.
by dragons? Yeah, why did we start at level 1 and do all of the fighting bandits and wolf stuff. Like, let's
It's always
skip that.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Or make it more meaningful.
Yeah, like all of those things happen in the world, and I think like role-playing games, they all try to set up this dynamic world of different characters and factions, and having you live through all of it to get like a grand understanding of the events. But playing through
The Grand
it
Saga.
is 4 to 5 combat encounters at every location, which all resolve the same way. Especially once you realize what you're good at with your character and you start streamlining. When you're no longer level 1 and you survive a couple of hits, you cast the same spells, you do the same tactic.
Same order, yeah.
Same
Get
order.
frustrated when it breaks the the flow. Like, no, my action economy.
Yeah, exactly. So there's and because there's so many fights, there's no room for role playing to breathe, for character moments, and interactions, because we are on a time crunch. We have to finish the fights. Even though if you wanted to role play, you kind of feel guilty or bad, or the other player feels like, come on, we kind of have to hurry up, or we are not getting anywhere in the campaign. That's why I like to say it. The first victim of RPG is always role play.
Yeah, the first victim of combat is role play.
The first victim of combat is roleplay. Yes, exactly.
We did have like this game, like we had like every session there was at least combat, but it was good. Like I was pleased with it because I still role playing. It was short and sweet as well. It was like not dragging on too long. Like moving, yeah. Like I move my guy here, and then like they don't have that. Just fast paced.
Yeah. I don't like the combat, and I think it's because if the enemy decides to attack me, I'm fucked. Like I'm half dead. There's no dodging, no evasion, no chance for me to survive or to go first. So I feel very much at the whim of trying to figure out what do you do, what do I do, what do you do, what do I do, and who steps first. Because I'm trying to play a cautious mouse, that is. I want to be brave, but he's not really there yet. He's not stabbing. He's not drawing first blood. So I'm always getting fucked up. Like, oh my god, the pain.
Yeah, I nearly died last session. So
yeah,
it's a tough nut to crack, right? Because there's the intention that the players should always win, except that there should also be the danger that they die, and those two things don't combine very well.
Yeah, but this game is about like going mice after mice because they keep dying. This game's supposed to be very brutal. The rules reflect that. The fact that, like I said, you can't dodge, can't roll. Just have to take it, and maybe your armor will deduce all the damage, but that's not very likely. Like the game is about that. So
I don't even have armor. Light armor removes like 1 point. That's very little if you roll a D6 on a sword or D10 on my hook arm.
It's only if they roll a 1, only if like they crit fail pretty much.
So and I know what you mean when you say like, oh yeah, the player should always win, but not in this game. Like this game is not designed with that safety net in mind. Like Dungeons and Dragons is designed this way, with the way you can fall down death and you roll three times.
Yeah.
So you have a bunch of action economy to not die, which is pretty cool, but that's the safety net. If you feel that the player should always win, I feel like that's an expectation you put upon yourself that I do not have, and I do not expect from my when I sign up for a role-playing game. I kind of hope that like a game master would fucking kill me already, because it's been a while. They're all pulling punches on me. I don't know why they're pulling punches.
Zonalar is talking about a very specific game that he already completed online. that he tested
Yes.
the GM, like he tried to kill
Okay.
himself. The GM wouldn't allow it. Like, why?
Yeah, like
Release
we
me.
say it's so funny. I tried to kill myself. That's not true. I acted according to my character's true intentions and beliefs, and I had a change of heart to put the life of a child before me instead of like my own character. And usually I was the greedy, self-centered, selfish one. And I decided, you know what, this is a good moment.
A good death.
Yes, let's try and save a child. Of all of the events that happened to my character in that moment, he actually took a big risk, a big step, and I recognized
That's
it.
like,
I don't even know if anybody else recognized it until I verbalized it to them after the game. I feel like nobody understood that.
It was like Boromir's death, you know, like that.
Yeah.
Why it was so meaningful and why everybody like, because after what, like the way he was and the way he like tried to redeem himself, that was kind of the arc you're like, you know, you were going for. But the GM did not give you the sweet release of, you know, the climax of the selfless sacrifice.
He tried to make the players always win. And if they always win, there's no danger. Why am I even
It's contrived.
Why am I playing a game of chance, rolling dice, if I cannot fail? Because
and it was not even like he should have made you die, like
no.
In a like contrived decision. It's because like it would be the only logical outcome, right? Like you threw yourself at like 5 guys that kidnap and murder people.
Yeah.
And then you were alone.
And
like for some reason now,
with a mage with them, they had like a mage with them. I was alone.
But like at this moment,
yeah. Like
they kill everyone.
Yeah. It's uncertain if I die, but the chances are high. So let the dice fall where they may. But instead, it's a bunch of contrived decisions to make sure I don't die. And that's the moment of like, okay, if failure means the adventure will go on, then what did I do the first thing for? Like,
it was all for nothing. Did you save the kid at the end? Though?
You know, I'm coming for the thrill to have impact.
Did you save the kid?
No, I failed.
Okay.
I don't even know if there was a kid, like it was a box. I assumed, there must be the kid.
It was just
inside.
vegetables.
Like all of the things. No, they were, you know, maybe it's sweet, you know, but you know, had to be illegal vegetables then. But I'm pretty sure. I never got the confirmation. But at that
funny.
point,
like, I'm sure it was bad.
Let's reach the place, and it's been 12 sessions, and we're doing the hex crawl thing of traveling across the world map that we have, and like each place has an event and encounter something, and I'm like, I'm not here for the journey. I want to reach the destination already, guys. That's what we said is gonna happen in this campaign. And we are 12 sessions in. And so like a couple of sessions later, I said, okay, I'm out. I'm pulling out because it is a waste of my time.
You got frustrated.
Yes. It was not
but
understood.
12 sessions. Like if you play once a week, 12 sessions, that's what, like 2 months?
Yeah,
that's 3 months.
3 months. Yeah.
And it's 4 months because somebody's missing probably at least a couple of times. Birthdays, work time, and like being sick.
I got sick. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah. And I overslept once. You were sick, like changing dates, all of that.
Yeah.
Microphone not arriving in the mail yet.
Yeah, it happens. But that's why, like, when we get to play, though, it's, at least to me, like, I always leave satisfied. Even, like, if there's some bumps along the way, like, I clearly don't understand that the clearly magical rock is a magic but like, I still enjoyed it. All of the sessions we've played, I don't think there was one that I was like, you know what? This sucked. That never happened so far.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
feel the
don't know.
same.
Yeah,
Last
I'm still
session
happy
was
with the
really.
Ant Queen. I'm still happy with the Ant Queen.
Yeah,
I'm happy you're happy.
I still dream about her. Yeah.
Good. Oh, that's cool. That's super cool.
No, I'm joking. I did not dream. Would be cool. Would be cool. Can you imagine, like, after every session you play at night, you like for sure dream of, like, you rewatch the whole thing as a movie, as a dream. Would be cool.
I don't know.
That's be a cool superpower.
I'd
It's
ask
like
a
bordering a
doctor.
nightmare to listen
Yeah.
to oneself.
Yeah,
talking
you
with arms
record.
and
I'm gonna watch it now.
arms.
Yeah.
But it's not a scene
Full
you imagine.
sensorial play.
It's a realistic scene where you say but and all of the time
No,
while
but
you talk.
it's
In the
edited. It's
dream.
edited. Your brain edits. Your brain edits that out.
Maybe your brain,
That'd
but
be
not in my
funny.
dreams. My dreams are
Okay.
torture.
You have the director's cut. That's why.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it's brutal to rewatch something.
Oh yeah, no, it is. It is. It's hard for me, like the ones I've ran, and like, I think Prime was the last one I ran online. Like, it's also hard for watching myself sometimes. Just
Oh, was it not your Man in Black thing?
no, Man in Black was the first one. The last one was Primal.
Oh.
No, the last one was Guardatomos, actually.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I was like, I think it was I avoided the filler words on that one. I was just not happy with the end, with like the telenovela ending of that session. It's too dramatic for no reason. But the overall, like, I was like happy with the Cs. I feel like I did a decent job on making them sound different, not only with the voices, but like the way they portray themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case, but that's how it felt like.
Yeah, I was very happy with that session.
I watched it. It was good.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
want
for
to run some
validating
games
us,
with
Solmir.
combat. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I want to do more combat, so we can like just role playing in combat, and I feel like the system is a big part in allowing that. For example, like Mausritter, of course you can role play, but like Sonar said, I'm just a sitting duck waiting for the attack to happen and describe like how I scream in pain. Like that's kind of the only options I have. Attacking is different.
No, I don't think so. But the problem is that it relies on rulings. So if you try something like you
Different.
kick the spider away or something,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably gonna
Oh.
happen, and it might miss its next attack. But that relies on a ruling. But you can still telegraph something cool, and like the GM is gonna probably
pull something
catch
out
it.
of his. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the action economy. When it's my turn, I describe what I'm doing, which may or may not include an attack. And then I hand it over to Nicholas and to Solmir, to you guys, to describe what you're doing. And I just hope that I'm not getting stabbed to death before it's my turn again. Because I'm trying to pace myself, right? I'm trying to pace myself. So it's not always stab, stab, stab. Oh, it's my turn, I stab again. And guess what? I'm doing it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why combat in these games should be short and sweet. And I would try to say like easy and then a bit harder and then a bit harder, because then the players will get a sense of how dangerous a combat is.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would just encourage to just come up with something, because that's the only option. If you attack first, if you lay an arm ambush, like Shana would never roll for firing a pistol at close range. You just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take the shot.
Yeah.
If the enemy is like real big or cannot dodge, or it's like bulky, that you probably hits. The question is more like, does it penetrate the armor, or is it quick? Like, is there a chance of failure? Then you can roll if there's like no like if there's certainty, the roll is not needed.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be back real quick.
All right.
All right. Yeah, but you can easily die also without a die roll.
Yeah.
If the character puts himself in a really bad situation, that's it. And that happened many times in some of the games that of the Crusaders did. Suddenly they just slit the throat and that's it. No dice.
Oh
nothing.
yeah, the slicing of the throat like a coup de grace, or falling off a skyscraper. You know.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Something. You know, like in a fantasy setting, you can fall into a pit of spikes. You might survive, but but have an agonizing experience, and if like that would to me be a roll if you are either dead, like yeah, if you reach 0 you're dead, right? But if you survive, but I make you roll, and if that's a failure, you're alive, stuck on the spikes, you know, in pain and agony, unable to move because it's gonna make it worse. Somebody has to get down to you to pull you out and mend the wounds pretty much immediately. Because as soon as you're pulled off, start like bleeding 10 damage a turn. Or, like I would do something crazy like that. Like, I'm sorry, but you're in real peril over here. But yeah, if it's a game like a fantasy role-playing game, but if it's D&D, then it's setting expectations of, well, it's just a spike trap. I thought it's 2d8 damage, and if I survive, I'm good, right?
Yeah. But I mean, let's be honest, nobody would roleplay that in detail. Yeah. It's like it's just spike trap, 2d6 damage. Okay, next.
It sounds amazing, but the players would feel like, wait, hold on, I am the player. I don't want to die in a spike trap like this. Man, I just gave the best example, Nicholas. You miss it all. I'm so sorry.
It's 2 worlds meeting, you know.
Yeah.
It's the North America versus South America or something else. Eastern Europe versus Western Europe. It's like nobody understands.
Nobody understands roleplay. What? So okay, the example is, I gave the example. If I'm running a dungeon crawl, and you fall into a spike trap, it opens up beneath you, and you fail the roll. Like you take all of the damage, and you know you reach 0, you're dead. But if I make you to a roll, and the failure means you're stuck on the spike, still alive, unable to move because it's a spike trap. You cannot pull yourself free.
Yeah, I'm impaled.
Yes, impaled. Somebody has to somehow remove you from the spike, and as soon as you're removed, you take like massive bleed damage every turn out of the holes until they are like mended or healed magically.
Yeah, no, that would like that. If I were role playing that, my character would become schizophrenic about traps. Like that would be traumatic for him.
Yeah, it would be.
Like you know what, guys? I think I want to. I don't want to be an adventurer no more. I want to go home.
Didn't we see some goblins a few rooms earlier that we let live? Let's take them as slaves and activate all the traps for us.
Yeah, exactly. You throw them ahead, you kick them ahead.
We call him
but you know what I would do? Like if I'm a player and like I see my companion like fall, like another player do that, I'm like, if I'm a mage or like if I arrange it somehow, like I would like end them, like put them out of their misery.
Yeah.
If there's no healing magic, like I'm gonna make it stop, man. I'm gonna make it the pain go away.
How is this healing potion going to fill this hole in your stomach? You know,
like because how do you even like? You need to lower like rope and like ask the guy to tie around himself as his.
No, it is completely ridiculous.
I cast levitate on his body and pull him up.
Yeah, that's one way.
We slice the spears You know, the barbarian jumps down, destroys all of the spears.
I don't know. I was imagining like the sonic spikes, like very thick at the bottom.
Oh,
that like steel.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you just touch it, you die.
Yeah.
Explode. Oh no, that's Mega Man. That's Mega Man.
Traps is its own topic because it's always like save or die. They're all hidden until you realize they're there. At which point you're no longer
until you're hit. They all there until you get hit by them.
Yes.
You know that's an interesting topic. You know, when I was designing Terra, like I on the section for traps, and it's still like this for now. I wrote down as a rule that traps should not damage. They should only apply conditions. Unless it's like you're going to drown and then of course you're gonna die. But that was because like you already only had like 4 hits or so, like 3 hits. So like if you get hit by one trap, the game is almost over. So I was thinking that's not very interesting, but if you break an arm but do not lose a hit point, that would be interesting. So that's how I could try to circumvent that.
Yeah, traps are by nature unfair because you're trying to gain an unfair advantage over whoever is assaulting you or attacking the tomb.
Yeah, you said it. They are by nature unfair. Like,
yeah,
they're not telegraphed,
and that makes it like not fun for player to experience because they're like, wait, hold on, that's unfair. I thought we are like playing a game over here, being adventurers. You know, it's like, how do I?
But traps gonna be interesting.
Like, what am I gonna do over here? You wanted
like
to
the
explore
classic
the tomb. I mean,
yeah. I feel like the classic, like the room closes, like gas starts to slowly like sip in, like that can be like interesting if you like the players brainstorm a way to, you know, oh let's pee on some rag and then like, you know, stuff in the hole so like the, you know, it holds off. I don't know, like that's interesting. That can be a memorable moment. But but yeah, you're going into like the Egyptian tomb. There are gonna be traps. You should expect the crocodile pit.
Yeah, but it's not a realism. I mean, it's a design encounter that you can engage with. Like that's how a trap should be. It should be something that has a dynamism to it. It's not just like you fall in and you're dead, or that the boulder come in and roll through where there's no left or right. Obviously,
I've had a lot of players fall into the pit trap in the first session. I just did it like in the training session I did with somebody using the Sunless Citadel. And it's like, oh yeah, over there's the door. He approaches the door and falls into the pit trap right in front of it. And I'm just like, well, he's half dead, falling down. While there's a rat down there too, like a large rat that's going to eat him now.
Yeah, that rat has been surviving on adventures for months now.
And it happened. I was just thinking, if he was a new player, he would feel the need to always ask to check for traps now every time he's in a dungeon. So,
but like if you see like some actual plays, the guys do that. They enter a room. I check for traps, detect traps, detect magic. You know, I look for a lever. It's always like that.
They learned because the game master role-played traps to be hard and to be hidden. So if they don't, they get punished. So you end up playing the ritual of checking traps, rolling perception, and investigate instead of role-playing what's in the room.
I guess some people find that fun though. Oh, good for them. I don't. I think it sucks.
Okay,
there's always someone
guys watching this video right now that say, "Oh man, I love dungeon crawling,
checking for traps,
and checking for traps, and sniffing every door." Explain to me which part of that is fun for you. I do not understand.
It's not your reptilian brain. I can tell that much. It's not your reptilian brain that gets satisfied with that.
Like, is it the rolling of the dice? I get to roll dice. That's the fun part. Like, I understand that.
Yeah.
I used to roll for the rogue. I just rolled his perception check every time he enters the trap room to see if he like picks up on it before his companion steps on it. You know?
Wait! Too late. Already stepped on a thing.
Rogue, you notice the barbarian just about to step on a slightly lifted off pressure plate.
Yeah.
And then I give him the
Dun,
eye,
dun,
It's like
dun.
sometimes they do nothing. So there's like this awkward silence of they don't catch up on the clue to do something.
They're just looking at you.
And you trigger the trap
Huh?
and he fucking dies. And then I give him the look again. What do you do while he's dying in agony?
I check his pockets.
Good. That would be funny. That would be awesome.
That would be fun. Like no, but like okay, that'll be cool. That'll be awesome. And if like at that moment the party starts seeing fighting, like where you all like you let him die, like what? Just want to steal him, like.
Don't we have a resurrection scroll? Just going through his folder of spell scrolls, He never fucking organized them by alphabetical order or anything. Just like I don't know.
That was awesome. See, that'd be cool.
I heard about people having fun with these things, but I think if you were
I've heard legends.
if you were like if you're a teenager in the 80s and you are running some sort of things with your friends and everybody's on the same page and drawing dungeons and you meet up and then it's this guy to run the dungeon and it's just it's a completely different. It's like you're comparing chess to some party game with acting and stuff.
Exactly, but you see, back in the day, the guys did not have like multiplayer Minecraft or Barony, if you know that game. You did not have like multiplayer dungeon crawls, so you had to do it by hand. It was the only option.
They did not play Neverwinter Nights Online or Baldur's Gate, Pillars of Eternity.
Because it's awesome when you play online these games. Man, you can have fun for hours. But that's because you don't do the boring part. You just do the cool part.
You can play a dungeon crawl in it's not Pillars of Eternity, it's the other one. Divinity Original Sin 2, the second game. And it has a beautiful Game Master tool where you can set up the whole mega dungeon if you want. Like layer after layer. And I've played in a multiplayer game like that every week for a month, like on a Saturday, where we did that. On the evening, we go from level 1 to level 10 and have 10 different like levels with 10 different encounters and beat them. And it was a combat brawl and it was awesome. It was fun. It was dynamic. And we played together, but we removed pretty much like all of the roleplay and had an awesome dungeon crawl experience.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's hard to roleplay on a video game.
Yeah, that's what's happening in D&D sessions anyways, but it's more exciting this way.
It's the medium is much better for that. The computer can roll all the dice immediately and have all the rules, and it's perfect.
And just click the button.
Yeah. And the Game Master calculates. He can still like summon new enemies of like something triggered the way you roleplayed, so there's a second bear coming up because you exploded a fucking stink cloud. Good job. The bear smells you now. Like I don't know. Like you can invent new characters, enemies, or conditions, change the weather.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
true.
And have it have in-game effects.
Guys, I should probably interrupt and like very often when sometimes when I'm about to have started a role-playing session, I drag things out by talking and talking, and then I'm so tired I just skip it. And I don't know if that's what's going on, but I think
did we explain that? I thought we explained that, like, because just so whoever might be watching this understands, we had some problems with like the time start. So
yeah,
if we were to start earlier, we don't have much time anyway. So we kind of decided on talking about the last game and stuff. So I think that's not like it's not your fault. Like we,
No,
at
no,
least for me,
this
I
is
understood that we agreed on that.
this is on purpose.
Yeah, we agreed.
Okay.
So,
Oh yeah, I know, but I thought we were having to. Are we going to play the game as well afterwards, or after talking, are we just going to
yeah,
talk?
let's decide.
Maybe I missed that part.
Do we want to play until 4, which is like 80 minutes, 70
like,
minutes?
I think Summer has to go now.
No, I have to go at like at 4:00.
Okay.
That's in an hour, right?
I don't think that's
No.
enough time to do much.
No, not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
All right.
It's fine.
Yeah. No, I think it's fair enough. I mean, but it's something that can happen. I've noticed that for myself at least.
Yeah, I mean, the
For
games
myself,
we've played, I feel like we just went straight to the point most of the time.
Yeah.
yeah, we did most of the time.
Yeah, because we leave the talk usually for the end, like after
I
the
think-
game is over.
I think it's better to do that actually in general now that I
Mhm.
think about it, because you have been maybe you're alone. You imagine you prepare and then you get to it and then you play the game in character, which is a bit demanding at times. And then
Mhm.
afterwards you relax and then you can talk and talk and talk, I guess.
Decompress.
Yeah, that's
Decompress and
been a problem with our game sessions. The
Presential.
way we organize it, we have
Mhm.
no room to decompress and talk about the game.
yeah, that's true.
Because of
Yeah.
the work and the time slot that we have.
Yeah.
over here.
Because of you. Yeah.
No, every
was
time I
trying
was like,
not to
guys,
say
10
that.
minutes talking and then I'm out. That was every
Mm.
single time. So it's
Yeah.
completely true. Okay, yeah, makes a lot of sense.
All right, yeah, let's chat and for as long as you want or have something to say. I'm gonna go to the toilet, so giving you the floor as a walk away.
Okay, yeah, we will
Alright.
keep ourselves entertained here. I was gonna say something about the ants. The ants.
Yeah.
Because like last game we did talk like, oh yeah, I think we want to pursue like the ant side quest for now.
Yes.
Did you like prep anything beforehand, like with that in mind, or
You mean for the next game?
yeah, for
Or
what would
for
be
the-
today's? What would
Yeah.
have been today's? Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you make like a 3D map of the ant hill, like the ups and downs of the tunnels and the crossing paths under different layers?
let me get back to you in 2 minutes.
Okay. I'm alone? Okay. I'm alone with people now. I'll tell a funny story then, since I'm alone here. I don't know if I talked that on the last game, but the end part was so awesome for me. I don't know if do you guys remember, was it Ender's Game? Ender's Game. There's like the Indian Queen. The way she looks, that's the vibe I got from the Ant Queen when we played, and it was so awesome the way it was in my mind. I don't think I can draw the scene, but the idea of meeting like this, it's basically like I said, an alien entity, and she's the brain of the hive mind. So awesome, so awesome. I'm really glad that we had that moment. Pretty much all the games I play, there's always at least one moment that really sticks with me. Last one was that the first game of Mausritter that I really liked, and that's also something that I want to talk with Zonal about the spear, the weapon. I think he pulls up the weapon, the hook, and then I ask, "Oh, do you know what is it called?" And that was me throwing a bone because I was like, if he doesn't have a name, like I thought of a pretty cool name because I was with your granddad. I was like, and he said no, so I felt like, okay, he's giving me the permission to for him that, and I thought that the cat blinder was a pretty dope name for a legendary weapon of a mouse. So first session that was pretty cool. Second session, the the two mice that came to our camp and they were dying because of the fungus. That was awesome too. So this is what I mean when I say like taking the most out of like the 2 or 3 hours we play. There's always like memorable moments in these sessions. I don't think I ever played a session where I feel like I can't remember a cool moment from that. So that is the strength. That is the strength of 4D. And there he is.
Approaching the camera menacingly.
Did you hear myself talking to myself?
Yeah.
So what did you think about the cat blinder part?
Yeah, I like it. I'm a fan of giving names to things, to characters,
Yeah,
to
but like
locations.
I asked you because I thought maybe he already has a name for it. But if he doesn't, I will give one right now.
Yeah, that is a good touch.
So you got that, you understood that.
Like in the moment, probably like I did not get the intention. I'm just acting
But it
like
worked out.
yeah, I'm just acting like, oh yeah, he calls he's asking me what's it called. Well, I don't know, so I don't know. It's like, well, I know. It's like, okay, fine, great. If you know, that's
Okay.
cool.
That's awesome. Good for you, buddy.
I actually need to
Yeah.
write this down because I totally forgot that it's called Cat Blinder. So
It's such a cool name. I like, manning my own here, but I don't know. I really like the sound of it. So
yes,
appropriate for a mouse to have like a legendary weapon called that. The name, the history is in the name.
I like it.
Would it be really cool if Somir like brings up like a blind cat, with one eye that is blind, and it's like, I recognize the weapon. That'd be cool.
Yeah, if there's a cat, I'm running the other way, pretty much.
No, but like if it's like blind, like it is the cat that got
Yeah.
blinded by your granddad.
If it's a blind cat my granddad fucked around with, I'm running away the other
Yeah.
side.
I mean, yeah, that's what we're doing, but
Yeah, there's
that would be
still a
really,
lot
it
of
would be a cool fun service.
yeah, I like it. I was thinking like one thing I did not address yet. I was very unhappy with my own. I don't mean performance, but I do mean performance. Like I was very tired and woke up late, and I just like we started the stream and I just like tried to find the start stream button and open the character sheet. So took me a while to even get into character. I felt like I did not play myself, and because of that, like I was playing very passively. Like let's just let Solmir tell me a story, and I'm there like on a roller coaster, rolling dice, being a human
It's
die
because
roller.
you were role playing being awake while role playing being awake playing a character. So
yeah, while being asleep.
Maybe that
on the computer, like.
But at the end of the game, I feel like you kind of your brain woke up. It says like it's like 5 minutes or 10 minutes after you wake up, your brain is still like getting its bearings or something like that.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I noticed that Tarragon seemed to be just following along a lot, but yeah, I mean it's mostly. I guess it's mostly problem for yourself that it might have been boring. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, it
what
was.
do you think?
Well, that's why I'm so happy you enjoyed it so much, Nicholas, because like I think back that I did not enjoy the session much. It felt slow and boring. Boring feels like such a shorthand term that doesn't really describe how I feel about it.
Oh, wow.
Because it's like to me that's harsh criticism that it's not really deserved for Solmir, because I think a lot of it was self-inflicted. I was not prepared. I was not in the mindset. I was not ready, and I did not brush up on the rules to act on what I want to do. So instead, I went like defaulted, like the default mode of letting Stolmir do the heavy lifting, so to say, of what's actually happening in the game. And playing my mouse character being very passive and conservative, and let the mage do the talking with strange creatures.
Let the one who doesn't know what's going on to
Yeah.
lead.
Yeah. So like, the spiders are happening. I hate them. They assaulted me in my home, so that feels at least it's like in character, even though I still feel very passive, like I was acting passive instead of being
8
brave.
spiders, 8 bugs. Not racist, just don't like them. Love me beer.
Ale, love me Bruin. Love me best friend, Waddle.
That's it.
Yeah. No, it's okay. It is sometimes you never know what you're feeling up for, etc., etc., etc. It is what it is.
Is it okay? I feel like it was not okay for me to be this bad at a role-playing game, It's like
I mean, you hand kept yourself there.
Yes.
Yeah, you mentally hand kept yourself by waking up 5 minutes before the game. Accidentally, but hand capping no less.
Yeah.
It takes some footwork. I mean, it is what it is. I always talk about martial arts practice because I have the best practice, at least in my opinion. And you just gotta show up for training and try to get into it. Yeah, that's what you do. You show up and you do the movements, and then hopefully you get engaged. And that's partly on you, and partly on sleeping. Sometimes I show up to training and I'm practically sleeping after a long day, and and I always get more out of it when I try to get into it. And but there's no guarantee, And it's the most important is to show up and not get discouraged.
Yeah.
Is to have fun.
Just is what it is. Not
don't say it, Nicholas. Don't make the ghost of Shaner show up on stream. He's gonna clip this.
It's not Halloween anymore. We're not Halloween anymore. We're safe.
Yeah. Okay.
Rest in peace, my friend.
Isn't it like the Mexicans doing their thing now?
It's going to be. I don't know when it's there. Dia de los Muertos. We have our own Dia dos Penados here in Brazil, but it's a different date. I don't think it's the same one.
I thought it's like in a week or something.
I don't remember when is Ours Eaters, but it's in November. So
me neither. I'm not from Mexico.
Yeah, but your year is turned upside down. So north is south, and fall is spring.
What do you mean north is south?
Is
like
Brazil
the sun is
on the south side?
The sun is in the north.
Equator, or
I'm below the equator. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, gotcha.
So when it should be winter, it's summertime in your region.
Yeah.
So now it's getting
the other side.
Now it's getting real hot for you.
Yeah. It's the dark side of the moon, so to speak. I live in the nether regions,
Okay.
In the forsaken lands. Yeah, you know what? What you can talk about as well, like Vesen or Vaesen. I'm really excited to run a game of that after Mausritter is done.
Sure.
Yeah. I can just quickly answer your question about the prep for the next session.
Oh yeah.
and that changed a lot
Forgot.
after I watched the session, the last one, and that my
Mhm.
prep changed completely because we only have one session left to play, and so how should we finish that? So I've kind of optimized the chances that it might finished,
Mhm.
and that's what I thought. And I quit all the events. I just have NPCs and maybe a location or something,
Okay.
Okay.
and then yeah,
Like in my head, as a player on the player side, because yeah, we did agree like we don't want to do more. It bloats itself, but I feel like we either will die trying to solve the fungus thing, or we will succeed. And I felt like then we would just time skip. I was thinking maybe he would time skip because and then we can have like a short sweet moment at the pond where I bid farewell and pay them and like good luck, good luck going back now on your own.
What a dick.
yeah. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's 4 pips.
But I'm still level 1.
Exactly. So
Well,
yeah,
sucks to be you.
it's one of those things. Like think that the players also play a big part of it. Like if you want to finish a game, the players should go for it as well. They need to go for the end goal. And we
Yeah.
could explore the whole anthill and look into the rooms of the anthill and see if there's any traps in the anthill somewhere, or there's a tunnel leading down to the mole kingdom, what have you.
The
But
mold.
then the
Now,
whole
moles don't
plague
exist.
thing
That's
is
not a
kind of
thing. That's
no, of
just
course
That's a
not.
conspiracy
No.
it's a conspiracy.
Mm,
The mole people are
by
not
the
real.
rats.
yeah,
It's like
they're very conspiratorial.
Oh,
They are nerds
mole.
after all, so
I understood
mole.
the mold. I was like, that sounds awesome, like a mold, like a fungus kingdom.
No, we don't
That's
have the
great.
awesome thing. Only the animals that dig holes, the mole people.
Okay.
Oh, okay, but anyway, the moles are scrapped, so never mind.
Take notes, Solmir. Take notes.
Yeah.
The more Nicholas says, wait, I like this. You just have to write it down and circle it twice,
I say I like this to almost everything though.
Yeah, but
this is cool.
that's the exciting part of being a game master, because sometimes you really can't just pick up on what the players say out loud. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, wouldn't it be cool if, you know what, he is right.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know
You
yet.
just gotta.
So sometimes
I mean,
you can drop it in like an hour later into the game, and they feel like,
I was right, guys. I was right.
yeah, they predicted everything.
Like the worst thing that can happen is the player says, "Hey, hold on, I made that up an hour ago. How could you have known?" Be like, "You're right.
Yeah.
It was a great idea, so I put it in." Actually, that feels still great. So win-win.
Yeah. I mean, what dork could say that? You're just taking the idea you suggested.
You're just
Get out of my
stealing
table,
my
like.
creative ideas for your
Yeah,
game that I'm playing.
you're not welcome in my house ever again. If you said that, go away.
Oh,
I like
shit.
this straw man nerd that doesn't exist. That would act.
Yeah, the straw man. I mean, it's fun to make fun of him.
I really felt hit by that one.
No.
I have a tendency to shut people down. It's like, no, that doesn't exist.
Well,
actually not.
It's just a reflex, but it's still bad.
Do you have an example of that happening to you, or like of you doing that? Like, I'd like to figure out how to intercept this idea. Like, if you say like you do that sometimes. How do you intercept that to like stop it from happening?
It's just you just gotta practice and trust, because the trust part is pretty big, because it's actually a panic. It's a panic reaction, and and it's like I cannot deal with this idea. I cannot handle this situation competently, so I'm just gonna shut it off. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say, how to describe. So it's like,
I see.
so that can be solved by evaluating it afterwards. Like, oh, that's not necessary. Maybe I could have said this. I could have done this.
So
And practicing like that.
before, if you have a presential game, before the game starts, you should do a trust fall exercise, to build that.
Nah, I know you should just
I get it.
be
I'm
in that
joking.
situation. Yeah, you
Yeah.
get it. Like you just
Mhm. You have to like, it's a step of like leap of faith, right? You gotta just try, and you get better every time you keep like allowing yourself to go with the flow, I guess.
yeah, but also if you evaluate and imagine that you could have said something else, that makes it possible in the future to do it in the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it works. Oh man, I could have done different. Oh well, next time.
Yeah.
And that
Yes,
actually is a great reason to meet up again, right? That at
Mhm.
the end of the session, I get the best ideas of what I could have done, what I wanted to say, of, oh my god, like now all of the ideas come into my brain now that the scene is over. I hope we play again next week so I can implement them or like take
Yeah.
a core of the idea and turn like twist it a bit to work better in the next scene.
Oh, did you guys conclude that train of thought
Yeah, go ahead.
about the game, about Mausritter? Another thing I was thinking before, like I was setting up OBS and everything, I was like, okay, we have the grubs, the princess, let's say the the princess grub, and I was thinking, okay, we did agree that we want to like make sure they metamorphose, whatever you call it, so they can fly away and start like a new kingdom. Can have like a sweet moment of like, oh, you are the daughter of,
I
but
don't know. I don't know how ants work. I'm just carrying this baby around,
yeah,
trying to not
expecting the
let you.
mage not eat.
Yes, do not eat the golden honey child of the queen.
The golden child, yeah.
It smells nice
And
too.
I was
Smells
thinking,
like honey in the air, you know.
oh yeah, super sweet, like
It attracts
yeah,
the fruit flies everywhere. It's really annoying, by the way.
yeah. I keep licking my lips whenever I'm around. Then I'm thinking like, would we time skip? Like, how would you handle this? Like, because I think I would mention like, yeah, well, at first we should let's take a few days and make sure they hatch. Like they grow quite fast. Would you say something like that? How would we how do we handle that? How do you think you would have handled on the spot? Do we do a montage of like a babysitter montage?
I think that we need to have a code word or a trigger or something like that.
But that would have been on
A
the moment.
secret
There was
hand
no code word.
sign. A secret hand sign, like the GM does like this. Come on,
Mhm.
and then the players also do this hand sign, and everybody is doing the hand sign. That means now it's a montage, and you time skip.
Montage time. It's a montage time.
Yeah, one time time.
Yeah.
This one is also good. Right?
I like this better because it's hilarious. It
Yeah.
ruins my my chroma
It's
key.
immersion.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. You can.
it opens up a new
truth.
dimension.
Yeah.
What do you think,
But
Ronald?
okay, but
How
yeah,
can it be done?
no, but like here's the thing, because we're talking beforehand now, but that would just happen if we started a session. So that's why I was like, how would we have? But it's good that we are talking about it now. I would just say that we should like make sure they hatch, they metamorphose first.
So
That doesn't
from
does
the
it trigger something?
perspective of my character, like the way I act is, I'm in a region I don't know, with no friends, except this eccentric frog, and I have one friend. So I don't really want to stick around anywhere for more than a day, unless I have concluded it's safe. So like that would be like the part important before we say like, oh yeah, 5 days pass. How wait, hold on.
Now, what
I did
happens?
not
What
feel
happens
safe for
beforehand?
5 days. Like you know, am I playing like a like a very paranoid mouse, like holding onto the cat blinder, shaking, like eyes wide open, deep rings, because like we're out in the dangerous wilderness. It's like being stuck in a dungeon for 5 days.
Yeah, but
Maybe that's what we should discuss. Like, where are we going to find? We need to find a place to spend some time.
Yeah. like
that would be the quest.
yeah, so yeah, if the idea is a time skip is needed at some point, then
Mm.
it should be the cat should feel safe, because if they're not, the players will often have a question of what do I how did I survive the time skip, you know?
Mm. How do I feel?
How does this time skip make you feel?
Yeah. You know, I would also be fine if you just decide, like, I mean, I guess we would talk that in character, but like, I would be equally okay with, let's make the session about surviving 5 days or 3 days, because that's how long it takes for the grub to mature. And after that, we like walk a little bit more, and the session is over.
Yeah.
Like the main chunk of the session would be surviving the 5 days. The spider is on our back still. Like that could also be a good session. But I don't know if like we're breaking the Geneva Convention by planning together how the session should go.
Yeah, we should plan the method, right? Plan the mechanism.
As a
But
game
the thing is,
master, do not be afraid to enforce 3 days pass. And we pick up what we are doing from that. I know last session you've asked time skip, like if we want to do that, and I was pushing back. I am role playing my character still, asking Slick a question or something. So I brushed you off in that moment, but that was also my answer of like I am not breaking character while rolling, while the scene is rolling.
Yeah. That's very valid and totally. You could totally do that, because I think that takes precedent. The fact that the players want to role play something, that takes precedent over time skipping. All right, but my question
as
is,
as long we are role playing, it means there's something to be said that we want to say. Unless my role playing is really boring, at which point you guys have to tell me, because I would. Because I don't know.
No, we have to stay in character. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. No. That's the thing you can tell me after the session. Guys, I know you wanted to ask about every item on the menu for dinner, but that was really fucking boring. Why did you do that?
True. Yeah. But Sonala, what my question is not how can I interrupt your role playing or something like that, or how can I pace the session further? But you know, two things we have sort of have an expectation what the session is going to be about. Is this going to be about raising a grub, or is it going to be about exploring an anthill, or is it going to be about finding the plague spreader or something, right? And that everybody has that in mind. That is not a script. That is just an agreement that we're going in this direction, and the players have said in advance we're going in this direction. So everybody's like interested in that. So if we're role playing a journey, that means it's going to span weeks, or at least days. How would that be role played? How can we role play that progression of place and time and landscape? That's my question. If that is what the players want to do,
I think we already did that. We had and that's the different encounters. The encounter with the owl, of the spider attacking at home. It's like we need to leave this place. We have to actually go. Of me pulling aside the underbrush for Slick to run into a new zone, basically, right? To escape from the owl attack. And the encounter with the mice while we are in the underbrush. Like that, to me, in my head, we are in 3 different zones already. That's a lot. And we traveled through the water, like across the brook I've never passed before. I have mercy killed the 2 sick mice of the fungi. And after that we have traveled to the Ant Kingdom and met the queen. So like in my head, that is the whole journey.
Yeah,
did not matter to
you can
me
make a book out of it.
if it's like 2 days or 2 weeks. Like as a the time did not matter for the journey. All of the events have all the beats that a really like a memorable journey would have.
It's like your life. You don't remember your life in years. You remember it in moments.
Yeah.
You know, when you look back. So
Yeah, it makes sense.
yeah,
And that
but
just also means that the realism is going out the window, and that's totally fine. There is no realism
Yeah.
to begin with.
like as a player, let's say we in the session, you know, we left the end hill. Like we're as a character, I would bring up some of these points. You know, like okay, we have to raise it. Let's find a safe place, but at the same time, I want their opinion as well. Then okay, let's then find a safe place. I would throw that out as okay, that's a new objective. So you as a DM can already like project as we like talk to each other. You can already project like a few things in your head on the spot. Because I won't be like, oh look, a perfectly safe place. Maybe I would be like, oh, on top of that, you know, tree looks like there's an empty cuckoo's nest or something. I might throw that, but I would not like make it so easy. I would make like a hook for adventure. As a player, I would do that.
Yeah.
Or we just travel the journey with a baby on our back.
Yeah, you could suggest that, and that could be the thing we would do. You know, might as well
At which point
let
it's
them raise a new
literally
kingdom.
like what, the story of Bethlehem or something. Let's Jesus Christ, we have to reach home for the Kaiser mandated counting of heads, and you're
Yeah,
literally traveling while being pregnant, like having to find a place to sleep in some crib somewhere.
that's a wild comparison.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's a crazy journey, like for a role-playing
Yeah,
session.
yeah.
Like we're literally carrying like this unborn child. You know, like it's a grub.
Yeah.
You know, it's not.
I have a donkey. My wife is pregnant, and let's go.
Yeah, let's go. You
Now
are the
you think about
donkey,
it,
by
it's
the way.
Yeah.
Slick is the
everything,
donkey.
every animal.
Yeah,
Right.
that'd be cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
All
now
right.
every
Let's,
encounter is like, holy fuck, I have to protect the baby. No.
Yeah, no, this they're like, and we have
sounds
three, so
great.
we can mess up 2 time zones. You know,
Yeah.
at least one needs to survive.
That's perfect. I mean, for me, that's like, I'm not even thinking about time skips or safe places or anything like that. I'm thinking, holy shit, what am I gonna do?
Yeah. It's like when you play Yoshi's Island, you know, like and
Yes.
you lose Baby Mario. It's like you see the counter going down. Like you have to get that baby again, man. Like you're gonna lose the run.
Or he's gonna get kidnapped.
Yeah, Kamek is already flying by. You know.
Yeah. The shy guy is flying like, ooh, I see a baby down there.
Yeah.
It's the Wasp Kingdom, you know, they show up every time we drop
Exactly.
the grub.
Oh yeah. Oh man, because wasps eat the heck out of grubs.
Oh yeah.
They eat
Just
the
a
heck out
guy
of grubs.
behind a tree, like black and yellow, like you.
It's like Wile E. Coyote, like he sets up that trap in front of her. Free baby care, you know, wearing a hat or something.
All of those are fantastic moments to just throw at the players, and because the good part, it's not if does the baby live or die, it's how does Slick react to the situation? Does he care? Is it just, oh man, I missed lunch now? You know, it's because it's he cannot eat.
I'll get feral if I don't eat in 2 hours. I'll get feral.
Or is
you have to contain me?
Does Tarragon have a lion heart, or is he a coward and a bartender? Yeah. And he never really believed in himself to live up to his grandfather's stories. You know, just wants to go back and serve beer.
Give some yeah, give some opportunity to find a really safe place with a very
Yeah.
nice bar that's missing a bartender and so on and so
I
forth.
realize I actually have nobody in life except for my drunk friend. So I'm just gonna marry him instead and live a miserable life. Childless
Yeah.
life. Maidenless. Drunk
Maidenless.
bartender. In an
Yeah, but
abusive
that's
relationship.
yeah,
Abusing
it's not a
alcohol
negative.
mostly.
It's
You can
still
move to
that.
the Rat Kingdom. There's always they accept pretty much every rodent.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much have to like move in with them. You know, that's my story arc. Down the drain. That's...
It's really sad, but it's still more
Yes.
satisfying than abandoning the whole thing. I think
Yeah.
it is kind of goofy sad, but it's better than the stopping.
Yeah. You know, I was
In
changing
general.
topics real quick. Because
Go
I
ahead.
said like the Wile E. Coyote, you know, like clearly like I take care of babies. Like, what do you think are the logistics of like playing like a cartoon like game? Do you think there is any point to that?
When
Or
you
like
say
playing in a world,
okay,
playing in a world that like has cartoon logic, you know, like you can still make it serious, but like if an anvil falls on you, you can still survive. Something like, what is the logistics of that? I don't even think that's a possible. It's possible to actually roleplay that, like seriously. Because what even would be the goal?
I mean that's
Because there are
just
some
that's
cartoon
that
like Toon Force games out there that exists.
yeah, that's pretty much every pulp fiction role playing game, like the pulp fantasy role playing game. That's that, right? And then you fight the dragon, and after the dragon, you fight two genies, and then there's and the genies they get beat so hard they wish the other genie to summon I don't know, dinosaur. Then you have to deal with the Tyrannosaurus Rex. But you escape the dinosaur by jumping through a portal through the plane of lava. Now you just have like pillars of stone everywhere over a bottomless pit of lava. Well, I guess it has a bottom, which is lava, where you run through a maze. And that's an adventure. It can be very cartoony, but I know what you mean. For me, the
Like a
bottom.
He-Man.
Yeah. The bottom line is always: are you staying in character? Are you playing true to your who you are, and does it reflect in the game? Like
So
if
like we're gonna play a corny He-Man like mega fantasy, super fantasy thing, like, but you
yeah,
have to take it seriously, right? Even if you're named like Stronger, you know, the barbarian or something.
I think the what Sonola is getting at is really the turning point that if it's about the characters and the hard questions and showing who the character is and being in those situations where you have the dilemmas and the interactions, the conflicts, and the opportunities, then the setting doesn't even matter because it's just about humans.
and
But
I
And might
anything can
have
be made
for
into like a dumb pulp thing. But
Dungeons and Dragons is trying to do that, right? Like especially with the
I
with the
feel like
later releases of the University of Strixhaven. You're just students. Like what adventures
yeah,
of
it's Harry
being a
Potter.
barista, like serving in Starbucks or something. I don't
I
even
don't
know
know.
what that's about.
It's going for like the hyper fantasy, but it's 80s flavored. It's
Yeah,
modern
but
world
that
flavored.
is cartoonish, right? All of that.
Oh yeah, it is. It is.
It's like we are playing Hogwarts, the role playing game, but you are
Yeah,
not taking it serious like Hogwarts did.
yeah.
I mean, Hogwarts
That
had
could be a cool game, by the
what
way.
was it? You could be
Oh, you can die.
you can
You can
die.
totally die
Yeah.
first semester.
Don't go into the Forbidden Forest because you will die.
There are ogres. There are giants. Yeah.
They're spiders. They will eat you. Don't mess around with that spell. It will turn you into a ghost or something like that. Yeah, one of the wizards is literally like an evil necromancer who will use the children as a like what, I don't know. Let's say as a catalyst for his simulacrum to create a second version of himself. Like, where did Jenna go? I don't know. She missed last week. It's like, all of that sounds so cool, but when I read the adventure and hear people talk about the game, it sounds exactly like Cartoon Land.
Oh, you're talking about Strixhaven?
Yeah.
Specifically? Oh, okay. Yeah,
as an
see,
example.
the concept is cool, but you gotta play it straight. Maybe that's why the people who play D&D cannot.
I never read the adventure. I'm just like taking examples that I imagine would happen in a Strixhaven game or a Hogwarts campaign of
like a magic school.
Yeah, what are all of the cool things that could happen? Like, yay, we play with magic. Oh, it's super fucked up. Like,
yeah.
But
it requires blood fuel every time.
Children have powerful tools. They're growing into pubescence. They're becoming young adults.
Egomaniacal.
Yes,
yeah.
They get crazy ideas about women and like, oh, look at me. I have this belt of sex change magic items. Like, woo, let's play around with
mind control, like mass mind control. Like, you can do like so many crimes with that.
Yeah, but it's a game, so you can explore stupid ideas.
Yeah.
And then for me the excitement is, well, how would I react to that? Because I'm not gonna mess around with some chloroform in real life to see, ooh, what happens if he loses consciousness. Like, no. It's a crime. Don't do that. What if I put roofies into the glass and offer the girl a drink? Like,
what does that mean? Like, no, German kid, German boy, don't go into the weed cave.
Nein,
you know,
nein,
like...
Junge, geh da nicht raus. Komm zurück.
No, little German boy. Yeah. But yeah, that's a cool concept for a game. I feel like if you get a system that can do magic in an interesting way, which is not D&D.
Yeah, but it's the setting is like 99% of that, because the magic can be just describe what happens. Just come up with an interesting magic item, interesting superpower. Just that's all you need.
Do you guys want to play? Go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I just the main thing that I think that these games provide is a setting, so, and doing all the imagination so that people don't have to do it, because they can refer back to the book and just play the mechanics, and there's afterwards they can think, oh, we had these cool effects.
To be fair, if I'm buying something, it's like I want to be served. If I'm paying money, you know.
Exactly.
Of course.
You should give me as most like imagination ammo as possible. I'm still gonna do my own thing, but like I should be fed, like well fed, you know.
Yeah.
That's the thing I really liked about Descent into Avernus. It was not Hell, actual Avernus, that I liked. It was Baldur's Gate, the city, because I had like a couple dozen locations, like 3 dozen locations. I had districts, I had names, I had an idea of what the city is good for, what are the factions inside, what do they all want, like secrets inside the city, like rumors that I can exploit. And all of that allowed me to, whatever the characters do, the city is its own person, and I know how to interact with them depending on where they are.
Wait, are you saying like you got the Demon Society? Or we're talking about the city, the Baldur's.
Baldur's Gate is a city, right?
Yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about like the Devil Society, you know, Avernus.
No. Like the book was about descent into Avernus to be in hell, But my favorite
Yeah.
part was like
The
chapter
city.
1. It was like the end, the last 20 pages inside the book that talks about the city itself. It's all ammunition on how to run an interesting, basically pirate port, but they still try to uphold a semblance of rules and regulations that can be bribed and like faked, and you can do whatever you want, wheel and deal.
That is That is really interesting, and you can do a lot with it. And all
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
it's like a giant toolbox of Legos that you can build something
That's
out of.
like the main reason I buy books today, like RPG books. I'm not even interested in the system, but if I see that it has like really cool ideas to help you on any other game, that's the main thing that makes me buy it. Like Vaesen, like I really like for the Vaesen itself, like very well detailed. Like gives you lots of ideas, food for thought. And the system is not totally bad either. I can mess with that.
Yeah.
So you we're going to play Vaesen, and
At one point, yeah, probably after Mausritter, if you guys are, you know.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
totally
I'm
down.
down. I'm down to try. You also said you want to join Solmir, so that sounds good to me.
Yeah, we might get another member too, so it'd be cool to have like 3 players.
Yeah, you
And
reached out,
yeah, I mean,
right?
yeah, he'll know today. He'll know today if he'll be able to. I mean, I'm still gonna do the session 0, but I thought it would be really cool if like we did something that is different for most of us. Because you guys are pretty much, you are from the Nordic lands, so like, you know the thing. There's not much of a suspense there if I go by the rules. Like you already know what's the red cap. I forgot the name. You got a name for the red cap. You have to feed it porridge. What is it?
Nise. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you know that, that's not as, I don't know if
Yeah,
that's as
maybe
interesting.
Solmir. I'm not versed in like the old folklore. I only know
It's
like
just the new folklore.
whatever came up
Slender
with
Man.
no, like with Disney, with Disney animated shows and after. Yeah, I
Okay.
know that, but none of the old stuff really.
Your mom didn't scare you
No,
with
she was a good Christian woman who raised me well.
uh,
So
okay.
I should be
Yeah.
noted that what I've seen from Vaesen, it is not folklore. It is not the same as folklore. It's just
No, but it is inspired, right? It's the same name, same creatures. Because I saw like the neck. I know the neck is like a singular entity. It's not like a type of entity, right?
like the thing with the rules for each Vaesen.
So is it
is, I
is
guess,
it like drawing inspiration, or are you saying like they are making up their own version that is similar but not actually traditional folklore?
have you seen this series called Supernatural?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's like a monster hunt from the world of darkness, the hunters
Yeah.
Okay.
from the series, and all the monsters are like they're creatures that follow their own rules, but they have like they appear in the real world as real creatures, follow our mechanics, and then there's these extra rules, right? But folklore is not about the real world. It's about
The mystical.
experiences that people had and started telling stories. And that's the mystical encounters you have when you're living far out in the countryside. You never meet anybody, maybe once per month or once per week, and you're gonna have to go into the forest, go through the forest, and some of these people see these creatures, and then they tell stories about them.
I saw a floating light.
For example,
Zigzagging the.
no. They saw 3 little guys with red caps, and they were walking by the road in those and those directions.
Oh, that would be so
And
scary in real life.
yeah, but that's the story. And
Yeah.
another story is like this guy lives at the farm, the farmhand, and then the elf comes to the farm and screams his name over and over and wants to come to have him to come out to her, and then he finally goes, and when he comes back, he's crazy. That's the kind of stories.
Yeah, it's hard.
There are but history is packed with these stories.
Mm-hmm.
An invasion, I imagine, is like, oh, the elf has a lair, and the lair has to, magic word to open the stone, and
Yeah, it's fairy tale. It's very fairy tale.
it's fairy tale made into something mundane, I think.
Yeah.
But that could be fun. It could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, but
No problem.
we can but that's can always like adjust the tone, because if I do Western, I will veer into the mystical, into the strange. That's how I would do it.
Okay.
Be whatever like culture we tackle on for the creatures, for the entities, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, that's the one thing of the rule book, the way like it's written. The rules are different for Vason than for humans. They have different
Yeah.
attributes that work by different rules, and that is very apt, like fitting that
Yeah.
they are different to like give a distinction between human and Vason, and we do not know the ritual, or we should not know, or we have to find out if we want to actually do something about it. But that
And
is
sometimes the ritual is not even a ritual. It's just you have to shoot it a lot in the face. It's just. But there is there is
Yeah.
a easy way to get rid. Easy. There is an optimal way to get rid
yeah.
of it, but you don't know how.
But I'm
Mm.
always going to play like I don't know, because I just
Because
think
you don't.
would my character even know? Like, what? I'm a lumberjack. What? I live out in the woods. I collect wood, and sometimes when it's good weather, I throw the logs in the water and travel with them downstream to the village. Then I see some people. I sell the wood, get some coin, and I don't know what I do with that. I drink myself half to death for a week, and then I go back to my cabin being bored.
Yeah.
That's my life. Hello,
Hmm.
my name is
And now you're
Jensen. Nice to meet you.
and now you're throwing at me like a giant creature. How do I react?
Yeah, exactly. Some strange things happening.
Mhm.
That's a good starting point.
Yeah. I thought it would be really funny if if like we did in South America and I threw at you like Clark things from here, because you have no idea.
Yeah,
But
it would be.
it'd be funny to see like how you interpret. Yeah. But no, we have this is something we gotta talk.
Yep. All right. Need any more, or are we good? We could end it a bit early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to
Unless you have any topics.
have one comment about the Vason thing.
Go ahead.
Actually, it's like because traditionally, the priest would always, you know, you know, uh,
Blast the place.
help people to get rid of their creatures, right? And
Yeah.
call them devils. So all the creatures that we know from folklore, like the trolls and the elves and the dwarves and the etc., they are all devils, and they fell down from hell, and you are supposed to close your eyes and make the cross and get rid of them at every cost. And that's the Christian perspective, and that
Yeah.
becomes then the creature doesn't like that, of course, and it becomes hostile. It becomes a monster now. It's not no longer it's a creature
A
that can
creature.
be interesting and do its thing. Now it's a monster, and so that's how you get the monster hunt.
Another
The-
victim of
so
Christianhood.
so in a way, yes, in a way, a monster hunter game is really fundamentally very Christian. I'm not saying Christian is as a personal faith, but as an institution and as force in history and society, right?
Yeah.
That goes to get rid of all the other
And
creatures out
such
there.
it is reflected in the rules of playing the priest of like
Yeah.
what the what the book says about. I believe that was also pretty much like in the book. Oh yeah, if you hold the cross, it's gonna agitate the vessel, like make
Yeah.
it run away, make it angry, have
It
these
does
effects.
mention that aspect of like it says like Vaesen, like if they believe like that, the cross is gonna be harmful to them, like it harms them, but that's because they believe in that as well. So it's a lot of like personal belief. It mentions like some Vaesen, they think they are devil, so they take like a devilish form, but like the Vaesen just exist, they don't know if they like where they come from as much as we like. I don't know. So you
Yeah,
can play that.
I kind of like that. That's it. It's not just us versus them, or the creatures always causing problems, but because other religions will have these creatures as a. It's actually the
Yeah.
god. It's actually the god of this forest. It's a god of this lake, etc.
Mhm.
You
So
can
it's
make
pagan,
offerings
yeah.
to them. It's pagan. So I would I would like that. I would like that it was not only the Christian perspective, but could be opened up to the creatures. Could be.
So do you want to play more like the native of the lands that you just lived with these critters alongside, and like because if you're in Brazil, it's a different setting again, but like the setting of industrialization, of everything is changing, like there are train tracks being laid now, like connecting the lands of like, oh, you used to live by yourself, but now there's a track straight through the whole forest, through the Amazons, like, oh my god.
Yeah, I like that kind of more than one perspective on the Vaesen.
Yeah.
I got to tell another story about this because in Iceland, they're of course more traditional. They had to build a road, and they kept having accidents. So the locals said that pointed to that rock over there, and there's a troll who lives in that rock. And then finally, they actually built the road around the rock. Completed the road.
Yeah,
I don't know if
but
it's an urban legend, but that's the story.
but
From
we
modern
have
times.
like similar stuff like this, like here, like just it's better to avoid than to, like, because people still like have some superstitious beliefs. So it's just there's still stuff like that. That still happen like in Japan. They still like I've like I lost the time the count of how many times I was in an elevator fourth or a parking lot. There's no like parking lot number 4. Like they still like take that kind of thing seriously. Because 4 is an ominous number in Japan.
And then there are also animals that people don't know the things they do. Like, what is it when you hear an elk cry out like for a mate? It sounds like a human scream, like a disgusting human scream, like,
Scary.
oh my god,
Scary.
it's so loud. Yeah, it's like,
What is that?
What the fuck is going on? Oh no, it's just an elk looking to get laid, But if you're not from the woods, it's like, a woman is in danger. I must find her. You just get lost in the woods. In Switzerland, we have an animal called the marmot, das Murmeltier, and this animal lives in the Alps, and they dig holes. So they pop up and they whistle. They can whistle, and if there's danger, they whistle, danger here, and go away.
I can see.
So imagine you go through the mountains, you hear whistle, like, who's calling me? Like, nobody is there. You're trying to find him, like, stuff like that happening, getting lost, and being like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, walruses can whistle like humans as well. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
No.
They can whistle like perfectly like a human, and like people say that's probably where a lot of like the siren tales come from. Because imagine like you're crossing like the Arctic or whatever, and you without like on a wooden ship, And you can see the silhouette of like what looks like a humanoid with fish tail like whistling at you from afar. Like that'll be scary.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, that's what I tried with the meandering brook with the tarragon, like encountering the water spirits. I was trying
Yeah.
to play
Totally.
at that kind of it's
the
the
mystical.
element of the water, but it also has a will of its own and has something it wants to do.
I
And that
really
looks like a
had.
creature
I
sometimes.
really wanted to follow the urge to go along with the water spirit, but
I don't remember,
Slick
but
had
did
to
you
ruin the day. Like, no,
Ah.
don't listen to it, Terragon. You're gonna drown, Terragon. Yeah. I'm sure it
Isn't
will be
like a thing
fine.
where like it makes you see whatever like you desire like calling to you?
I don't know if Solmi described it like that, but
Because that's how I remember, but I think that's a fake memory.
Yeah, I probably didn't do it correctly at all,
What?
but
I don't know.
I don't know if
I
that's
can
a
look
wrong
back
way
on
to
it,
do
but
it.
I decided just no. I'm totally. I love the idea. So I'm just gonna play
Yeah.
Terragon that he's following.
I'm a
this.
weak-willed mouse. Yeah.
This is lady, and I need to follow her like through this beautiful
Yeah.
field of flowers. And you
There,
just
there
watch
are
me
like
like drown in the
seven
water.
naked. Yeah. There are 7 naked mice lady calling. You know, like from below the river.
Yeah. I don't even see a river. What river? There's no river. Just like gurgling water
Yeah.
as I speak to you. It's like, oh, he's crazy.
Uh,
Lost his mind immediately.
yeah. So like Tarragon sees the 7 mice lady. Waddle sees like
Seven
endless
fruit
ale.
flies to eat. I mean, what? Just his food.
Yeah, no, yeah. Each one, like, yeah. Waddle sees that, and I don't know what Slick. Slick probably sees food.
Yeah, Slick sees food. Waddle sees 7 barrels of meat.
Mm, exactly. We
All
all
right.
get tempted. But yeah, Vaesen, I wanna run the game whenever possible, and I wanna see the system at play as well. I kind of like it.
yeah, that's looking forward to it.
Yeah, we can do it as mystical as we want. We can do it as corny as we want. It's in our hands.
Did you guys wanted to play in a city or far
I
out
think
there?
countryside.
Like
Countryside.
like 200
I
people
mean,
or like 20 people or you
maybe
and me and the dog people.
it's like the HQ can be in a more civilized area, but wherever you're going, you know, skirts of the.
Will we have a
There's.
headquarters?
I mean, the game is like the headquarters can be your room, you know. every
Okay.
Sunday you guys get
Okay.
together, and your wife makes tea for everyone. You know, that's the HQ. Your kids
Yay.
running around as you discussed.
My power fantasy, a loving family, a wife who can cook. I don't know.
Let's wait for it.
Can't say
I'm
that
not
on
allowed to
YouTube.
say
Come
those
on.
words.
Yeah. Yeah. He regretted, but it was too late.
Anyway,
A
Yeah.
job that pays, like a boss who likes me, stuff like that.
Exactly.
And
This is the part.
I'm like well dressed and fashionable. I have those wood
A
block
vest?
shoes, the
Yeah.
wood shoes.
A vest, a cape,
Yeah. And my name is Sven.
real
The best
leather.
name of all.
Yeah. Real leather, crocodile leather.
yeah, cowboy hat as well.
But yeah, guys, I guess this is it then.
Yeah. All right. With that, let's allow people to just slave. Whoever is watching here is probably like, what are they talking about? Still,
Where's Mausritter? Why are
there,
they talking about
well,
having a family and leather
Yeah.
belts?
all right. It's easy. I'm just renaming the show at the end, so it's Mausritter Aftermath, chatting about roleplay.
Plus rambling, yeah.
Yeah, and rambling. All right. Any last
Are you
words?
ready
I'm
to
good.
ramble?
We can leave it here.
Yeah, I'm good too.
All right.
See you later.
See ya.
I'm good. Peace.